I believe you were able to see some of Wendy's interrogation. And if not, I know you heard about it. She was interrogated just a few days after, I believe it was 4 days after Dan was found murdered in his driveway. Actually, I believe it was later that day. I apologize.
Yeah, that's
that
right.
same day, correct. And a lot going on today, Karm. A lot swirling around here behind the scenes. So she was interrogated after her husband's death. What did you make of that interrogation? As a psychologist, did it sway you one way or the other in terms of guilt or innocence?
I think when you look at it, it seems to a large extent very kind of believable, right? So I know there's a lot of stuff that's come out since, but a lot of the reactions did seem very organic, right? So at least on first sight, I have to say the first time I saw it, I didn't seem to see any big red flags from where I was. I don't know if either of you felt differently.
Karm, did you feel differently at all when you watched Wendy's interrogation? I know you've watched it.
No, but I was thinking of something else. Can I tell you?
Yes, you sure can, Karm.
I think that there was a lot of ethnic stuff in it. You know, she's a bright woman. She's an educated
When you
woman.
say ethnic, you're being euphemistic. You mean something related to being Jewish?
Yes.
So
yes.
Elaborate. What do you mean?
That, you know, she would like start to say something and then she would think of the implications of that out there and then sort of even report on that this may seem like blah, 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 and like analyzing her own, like watching herself testify. I don't know if you picked that up.
That's interesting. So you're saying there was this sense that she was almost doing that self-awareness. She was hyper self-aware. So she was kind of standing outside of herself and imagining what she sounded like to others.
Yes.
Well, that's interesting. Yeah.
Definitely the mind of a therapist at work there. So you felt like it was kind of like an outer body experience. She was watching herself.
She's bright and she knows.
And more than bright, she's an attorney.
No, but she's bright.
Yes, and an attorney.
And she she not only is emoting, then she kind of steps out of that, and then she imagines what the world sees here right now.
So she was.
I mean, I'm paranoid, by the way. Hi, how are you?
By the way, I mean, another way of saying that is she's calculating or calculated. And Dr. Linda, I mean, first of all, how would you define Wendi? Would you define her as a narcissist, her as a sociopath, and then?
Well, before I answer that, I just want to say, just to play devil's advocate, right? And a normal anxiety response is that you become hyper self-aware, right? So any of us put in a situation where the words that we say can either convict us of murder or let us off, we're going to do that double guessing thing. And I completely agree with Karma that she's extremely eloquent. You kind of have to have a trained eye to do that. But I think in terms of what we can go on, I think it could go either way. Is this someone who feels they absolutely have something big to hide, or is this someone who's, as an attorney, as someone who's very self-aware, knows that her words matter and she feels anxious about it? So that self-awareness comes from that hyper self-awareness rather.